So yeah, I don't know the big point of me making this video, so this is probably an experience of me working on commission that I received on artisan client. It'll be nothing big, I guess. Or in case that you want to know, I also make tutorial video on how to open art commission on artisan client. This video is me trying to learn how to speak in English also, please do not be too harsh on me. This will be so much faster because I'm using a script instead of me talking without one, just like my tutorial video. And please let me know your feedback, or even something that you would like to ask. Okay, now we have a commission order. So dude or dudette wants me to draw them a World of Warcraft character. I do not know why, but I got commissioned by people from World of Warcraft players often. And yes, they said to let them know if I am interested to be working with them. I also tell them to put references along with the order, and yes boy, it's money, of course. I wanted to work with them, so I said that feel free to order from the slot that they want. They said that they want a half body, so I'm probably showing a time lapse of the sketch on the screen, but the sketch will be a very low quality because the time lapse is from a record button from Medibank, and the time lapse that's been exported is very low quality. Hopefully that you guys won't mind that. After waiting for quite a bit, tomorrow came and they ordered. And they want a full body. What the hell? Yesterday half, now full body. And I think that they changed their mind to order a full body one. Anyway, they want me to draw this girl that I believe fill the roles of a mage in this game. They wanted to order from my sexy anime waifu commission slot. And in that order, they also gave me references. They gave me a game references, a portrait, aligned with the sexy pose, and an anime cell commission work, I think, and official for the fall, and official from Genshin Impact for the post references. And they put a very big details in the description. She can be wearing black underwear and thigh-high stocking. I start sketching and voila! I tried to mimic the costume from the game, kinda. Well, from the game, the references isn't really that much clear to see, so I cannot figure out the glove because of the magic particles. But since that they commissioned me to draw sexy stuff, I discard the game costume and started to copy the commission cell work. I slashed out the white costume and the armor boots to copy the sexiness of the character. So I make the sketch with Jester. Is that what they call the costume? Like the clown from Devil May Cry 3 game, they call it Jester, right? Anyway, I put the Jester from the commissioner work costume because, well, the costume is sexy. And it got Bob neuroactivation, I know. So I gave them the sketch. The sketch was what I believe quite plumpy and thick. And they said that it is acceptable, but not really. They requested to tone down the thickness and showed me a previous commission work that I put in ArtStation. The set commission that I put on ArtStation is a magical hero kinda thing. The body is indeed quite slim. I can see that the client had their request and they need to be respected, but they want to tone down the thickness. The thickness? What the f? This is the first. This is the first time that a client wants to tone down the sexiness of a character. Often I get requests to make the bigger bob or the bigger butts, but never to make the bob and the butts smaller. And this is the first time that I get a client that does a background check on me by checking me on ArtStations. Good lord. Okay. Anyway, I nerfed the butts and the bob and gave it to the client, and they said it was perfect. Perfect? What the fuck? I don't approve of this. I don't. So tone down the thickness. What the fuck? So since that I take the rough sketch has been approved, and I said that I was gonna accept the job and wait for the payment of $60 for the full body, that is, and voila, they paid. So I got into the next part of this, rendering. So I'm gonna start lowering the sketching opacity and start to make the better line art, and also fill the piece with the best color along the way and keep up rendering. So there you go. As for the character, I don't know that much about this game character. The only things that I know about the character is personality, is that the character got this infighting personality. I mean, the client gave me specific details that the client wanna have this playful and sultry. I do not know what sultry means, but I gotta look it up on Google later. Practically that this character got this yes. I don't know what yes means. I just make it up on the spot. So she got this MILF aura, not that much of a MILF, but that's often what I felt when a MILF is looking at the main character in a certain type of anime and manga. And I also that I knew that this character is dying because, well, the client straight up requested to draw some black panty and high-test stocking. That's a fine test if you ask me. In a second, by watching or observing the character got this like purple thingy on her hands, and I thought that this character is mastering the mystery of dark magic. Why dark magic? Why dark magic? From a pattern that I often saw, a purple or violet color is often depicted as something dark and evil, poisonous and corrupting. It's a color that is used for that kind of evil things, whether it's from anime or a game, but Valorant tries to break that stereotype of color with using green as poison. I don't know why, but it felt it's kinda off the rails, and it's weird seeing green as something corrupting and poisonous. So yeah, the purple things kinda make me think that the character is evil or something. But as I inspect a bit further, I saw a glittering or a sparkling star, and the magic effects also makes me think, thus the character is not evil. So I look at the jester costume, and whoa, it makes sense. The jester is also depicted as something mischievous. The purple trilaterally effect is now makes sense with the jester costume, where the character theme is someone who can trick you using her cunning, which is also bad. The same bad as evil, not that much of evil, but still bad. Someone who can trick you is someone bad. I do not know what can this purple sparkling magic that this character had or can do. But man, I think it's something bad. I mean, imagine the character that had purple damn color, and the character is cunning enough to trick, and this character uses a smile to hypnotize you, so you cannot say no to the character. The only character with the witch hat also got this purple damn costume, smart, cunning, possess a smile that can hypnotize you to the point that you cannot say no to her bidding. It's the very embodiment of a sexy jester, Lisa from the Genshin Impact. Am I kidding? The moment I see Lisa's smile, I go, "Mummy?" The World of Warcraft purple jester meets commissioner piece, so I had a stars thingy on her back so that we can know that she had this something wacky about her. The wacky thing and jester thing seems to be matched in some sense, so I gave them the piece. The client said that I work fast. I'm not working that fast. It took me around 9 hours. To finish the piece, not including sketch and talking to the client. But they want a bit of an alteration to the nails of the character. Not much of a problem though. They request to zebra color nails. Zebra color, I'm not sure that it was the right words, but I'm going to keep with that sentence because I don't have the brain to make the word. Basically, they wanted to change the nails to pink and white because originally I put all the nails with purple colors. So after I look a bit, her hands is a bit big than any female in general. I draw it a bit bigger, too, mainly in my eyes. Probably I need to learn how to draw hands again. There you go, mates from World of Warcraft, and I gave 5 stars to the client. A new client that requests a female mecha. It is some sort of mecha armored Skyvy team character, some sort of Kamen Rider. So this client requested me to draw this blue-haired mecha armored girl in a certain pose from a game. As for the game name, if I have to guess, the name of the game is Warframe, kind of a game where all of the mecha bionic characters do their business like shooting and slashing another player. The game looks good though. Don't know if I can play the game. I'm broke. Anyway, the character that the clients want me to draw is a difficult one. It has a very complex details. I mean, I have a problem drawing an armor, but this is a straight mecha armor that makes the difficulty higher. So I request the client to high up the cost for me to draw the character. I mean, to increase the fee of the commission. High up the cost. Ladies and gentlemen, English. Yeah, anyway, I cost increased from $30 to $60 because, well, the character is very difficult to draw and maybe take way longer time to finish it. Fortunately, the client agreed to the cost increase after the agreement, so I start sketching for the character. But while I'm sketching for the character, I ask the client for the helmet's references because the client wants me to draw the character with a kind of a side view along with the helmet. But the character references that they gave me didn't have a side view of the helmet. After I asked them, there is still no reply. Well, maybe because of the time zone difference, it'll be quicker to make the character without the helmet. I mean, it's not quicker, but we can say they made an impression from the face of the character. It will be cool if I can draw the armored character without the helmet because, you know, it will be different. Just like the Chinese animation series called Swallowed Star. The character had armor along with armor helmet, but they can turn and off the helmet function. The client also gave the references with or without the armored helmet, so I guess the character also had the function on the armor. I guess that the character also had the function to turn the helmet armor on and off of the helmet, but I guess the client want the character helmet to be off, so I cannot do much from that department. I will just have to do what the client paid me to do, so I sketch anyway. Not gonna lie, I start having difficulties drawing the gun, so I trace the gun. Yes, I trace the goddamn gun to speed things up, so leave me alone. I found the problem, the gun is way too small. I spent quite a minute staring at the gun, and I can see that even the finger won't able to fit the trigger slot, so I made the gun a bit bigger so that the character could hold the gun. Pretty much make the rest of the things match. Hopefully after I send the sketch, the client will approve it. And after I'm done with the figure or the rough sketch idea of the body proportion, I start making a new layer and make the mecha armor by sketching it. So in the middle of the sketching, I got a reply. I asked for the helmet references, but unfortunately the client got no clue or what the hell's going on. But they did give me something based on the costume. It's a Minecraft model that's based on the character costume. I can't read nothing from the Minecraft references, but bruh. Seems like the client also got no references of the helmet. It also seems like the previous commissioned artist also did not want to take the trouble to draw the helmet 360 view. Don't get me wrong, I will also skip the responsibility to draw the helmet myself. Best I can do is to add my own spin to the helmet and hope that I can get an okay to continue. So I send the client my sketch with my own spin, of course, and also say that I cannot make things up from the Minecraft references that they gave me. But I kinda messed up big time when the client gave me a reference of the game from the post. It's the mecha bio armor female with guns on the side, and the few points is from the back of the character. The big detail that I missed was the client asked for the front point view on the references. Shite. I know, that was bad indeed. Then I checked up the request from before to make sure if it's true. It was true that the client was requested to draw the character from the front. Man, 2 hours of sketching gone wasted. No, I've got to do more crap to fix it. Man, I really had trying maker. This is what I get from not looking for details and only focusing on the drawing from the reference that the client gave me. The fault was mine. Maybe I need to read stuff more carefully next time. Do not be like me. But anyway, I fixed the character pose to the front view. I'm using the best of the pose that I did, and I edited using the figure. Another hour wasting drawing mecha. And I really hate drawing mecha. I'm wondering how much of the time that an artist that excel at mecha or armor spends just sketching this stuff. It took me 4 hours just to sketch mecha things. Anyway, after I'm done fixing the sketch, I exported the sketch and have them the piece. And wait for the client's response if there's anything to add or change. After waiting for a few days, I received a response and the client said that the sketch is good enough, and then it is a green light for me to ask for the payment. And after waiting for the client to pay, the commission commission fee? The client paid the commission fee and nothing troublesome on it. And after I received the payment, then I straight away working on the piece. But not gonna lie, making this piece is hard, harder than making just the armor and stuff. I have to make sure that the stuff is perfectly matched with the armor, and I kinda failed in a sense. As for the character, I do not really know what is or what the purpose of the character is. From all I got from observing the character references, the character is supposed to be something like a ranger thingy. Yes, just like a Power Ranger stuff. The character, I think, take place in the cyber team era. If I have to guess, the character's job is supposedly a police cyber mecha ranger. How do I know? I do not know, I'm just guessing. But for me, that the hints that are given to me to guess that the characters in police rangers are probably the guns, the blue color team, and the sign on her chest. Think about it. The design where the position of the guns is easily noticeable is that you can see it in the back of her belt. I think the weapon is licensed and the characters has a full authority to use them. If you can just show it to other people when you are doing some patrol or something like that, you must have some sort of authority to bring guns. Otherwise, you will get caught by other cyber police by bringing some unauthorized weapons. And the second thing of why that I think the character is some sort of cyber police is the color theme. It's blue. If I see a pattern color, blue is more likely often used in some police attire. There might be other cyber police with a different color in the universe of the characters live in. I don't know, I'm just guessing. This is me just noticing the color pattern, nothing more. And lastly of why I think that the character is a cyber police is the sign on her chest. I don't know, I think it is a wing. The character does have the character does not have any symbol, unfortunately. But if the thing on her chest is a symbol of wing, then with the pattern things that I often observe, she might be some sort of cyber police officer or something. That's my 3 guesses that the character is a cyber police. If not, then it will be a Minecraft D&D sort of again. Because the client legit gave me Minecraft references. But as for mecha, using shift plus click to make the line kinda helped me a bit because, well, drawing mecha uses a lot of straight line. A bit different from drawing human figures where the human's body got a lot of curves. Maybe how you saw the line that I mentioned on the screen. And in case that you notice, I did not use any weight lines on this piece. This is my first mecha commission work, so I'm not familiar with make. So I'm afraid that me using weight line on this piece will make the piece looks ugly. Done that with the piece, I straight up exported the piece to PNG file and gave it to the client. If I put the character references and my commission work side to side, you can see that I have different body figure scale. You see, I found a body figure like Bayonetta looks very interesting to see. I cannot put my fingers on it, but it kinda look aesthetic, so I kinda like making my art like that, the Bayonetta body style. If it's female, the head is kinda smaller than the body. This is where my fears began, with me making the body just like Bayonetta. I'm afraid that I have to change the stuff from the character references. I'm afraid that the client will ask for another chance to fit the character references, but luckily, after I'm done with the piece and send the PNG file, the client was happy with my work and the job is complete. Well, I'm just glad that I didn't have to make another changes on the mecha stuff. This piece took way too much time just to finish it. I really hate drawing mecha, so there you go, my first mecha commission. 10 out of 10 will not do that again. Now I get a commission from the client that wants me to draw a bulky girl, which I take pleasure to draw. They've sent me a girl with a short red military hairstyle of a girl. The girl is quite bulky. As for the costume, the client gave me the freedom to pick and choose from the reference that the client gave me. The character reference comes to a very bulky Street Fighter with the metal armor parts on the thighs and the bicep and also on the knuckle. But the character has this very feminine costume, so I straight up choose that. Why did I choose the feminine costume style? Well, because I'm not familiar to draw masculine women. I got commissioned to draw a masculine woman in the past, but I also sent so femininity in the character, like factory from the World of Warcraft that I get commissioned with. The character is bulky but also got this grace of femininity from the character. You can sense that though. But also if I had to choose the fighting costume, I had to draw the character in the combat scenes. The thing is that I stuck at drawing combat scenes. So the best thing that I got is to draw the feminine costume. The client also said that the pose could be as I wish, either it's sitting on the couch or sitting on the bench. So perfect, I got a bench and a costume. If I had to combine it, it will look like an Instagram workout influencer. So I sketched the main idea of the Instagram workout influencer with the girl sitting on top of the workout bench. After I'm done with the sketch, I exported it and showed it to the sketch to the client. And after a few days of no reply, I got a reply. The client is quite busy with real work, I guess, but after I got a reply, the client took a liking to the sketch. So as always, I accepted the job request and wait for the payment. And after a few days has passed, the client paid the commission fee and then I straight up working on the piece. Not sure if I had to tell you that, but I'm using references of workout bands and the fitness girl. I suppose don't ask me the source of the references because I just chuck it from the Google. You know, I used the thing that I found without thinking to save a bit more of time. Don't at me. As for the character, I do not know if she's a punk or if she's a survivor. I mean, if she's a punk girl, then with the bulky, it's not that bulky, but it's pretty big iron plate on her arm and thigh. If I'm a cop and I see somebody with that armor on her arm and thigh, I will go, and arrest her on the spot for something illegal or some sort. That what I would do if I spot something with like her in the piece daily basis. But if she's a survivor that live in the post-apocalyptic world, then it makes sense. You need armors to defend yourself. There's no way that you can defend yourself with that belly button opens wide, but you can use that plate armor in fight. It also confuses me because if she lives in the zombie apocalyptic world, she will have guns or eggs or something like that. Guns or eggs is basically what they often use to show that the world is apocalyptic or not. Also, in the background, I can see that the background is full of color and there is no miasma or explosion to fight the zombie. And there's even a fashion of her as a reference. She wears this feminine attire that's still bulky but feminine. So it balances that she lives in modern world, not apocalyptic, but she's live in a gang versus gang situation, kinda apocalyptic, where the world of fighting and not even the cops are able to stop them. It's a world where there are gangs to fight and you can also relax in a nice resting room. That's what I get from the plate armor and the background. It's just me guessing stuff because I don't ask the client the station where the character lives in, but left to see the world that the character lives in though. And after done working on the piece, I straight up exported the file and gave it to the client. Thankfully, the client took a liking to my artwork and the client found my artwork adoring. There you go, a commission piece of a bulky girl with juicy abs. Yes, the client is happy and the job is complete, but in case that you notice, I used the cloud texture from Google and took it to the custom of the character. And then the 5 stars to the client. Got to work with the muscular girl. Alright, now we got a new commission order. The client came to me after coming across my commission slot, and of course that the client asked me first if I am interested in doing work for the client, and of course I want the money. Why not? It's money. And I said, of course we need the money. The client wants a half-body character and they put a link for the character references. What makes me worried that the client wrote something like to visual the character, and after clicking the link it confirms my fear. I have to make a design for the character, not making a character from a game or the original character. I've been given a task to design the original character, and the moment I open the link there is quite a unique character design, starting with a monkey's costume with pauldron armor, but the client wants me to design the character without the pauldron armor. I do not know if it's a monkey's attire, and I do not even know what Polden armor is. Do not at me. The character supposedly had auburn hair with a twig or leaves coming out or attached to the hair, with an alienist eyes color and an eye patch like Kakashi, but replaced the black cloth but put leaves as an eye patch. And the character supposedly had this cool tattoo on the arm to shoulder, but the client asked for a double-headed serpent tattoo, and the character has brown skin, of course. And to make the character design from what I've received, the client wants me to draw a character with a natural them design. I can translate that from the natural stuff like twigs or leaves on the hair and the leaves eye patch. It strengthened my guess with the monkey's attire. Pretty much the client wants me to draw a monkey's in a natural kind of stuff, but what makes me go for a bit is the serpent tattoo. Serpent or snake is a symbol of corruption from my understanding, devastation or even death in some part of the world. So I'm asking about the correlation between the natural part of the references and the snake part of the reference. But there is a part that I do not know what to draw from the references. Does the client wants me to draw a female or a male? To know that, I want to ask the client directly. As for the next day, I got a response. The character is a C. Good lord, it's not that I cannot draw a male. Trust me, I can draw a male. The client would like the character to be a bit more androgyny. What the hell is androgyny? After a bit of a search, Google said that androgyny is neither masculine nor feminine. Probably gonna put the image on the screen. After confirming the details, I need to confirm the cost. Many of the clients often do not read my description of my commission slots, so it kinda worries me. But fortunately, the client agreed to pay $50 for a half-body commission fee. Now that the client agreed to the cost of the commission, I started sketching then. But as for the post, I have this natural majors post in mind. It will be difficult to translate this androgyny character type. It would be non-masculine or feminine, but at the same time, for me, it could be also masculine and feminine. The character probably as gentle as mages, but at the same time could be a bit more muscular. Here is what I had in mind: a monkey's female with natural genre stuff going on, because it got leaves. After I'm done sketching, I send them the sketch. After I give them the sketch and wait for about 10 hours maybe, I got a response. The client said that the character is supposedly some kind of a wood elf, so we need to add some pointy ears, and the client wants to make the bosom. What's the bosom? After a Google search, the word bosom means the chest. What is this? Why do you want to smaller? I mean, I draw a big boob anime tatas for fuck's sake. Anyway, I added some ears and some stuff, make the chest area smaller and tilt the neck a bit so that the pose is not that stiff. After I'm done with the revision, I give the sketch and wait for the response. After I got a response, the client said that the revision sketch is good already. So I think that the rough sketch has been approved. I will just wait for the payment so that I can continue working on the piece. And after the client paid the commission costs, I straight up continue working on the piece that day, since the client paid me around 2 January. Pretty much we are having a red day on the calendar and got nothing to do, so I just finished the piece after receiving the payment on that day. Here's what the finished product looked like. Tried to add some clouds on it. Not gonna lie, it reminds me of Avatar Aang, but with orangish hair. The client said that the character is a wood elf. It will be perfect with a nature or a forest as background, but I cannot draw it yet. I really need to learn how to draw a background. After I'm done with the piece, I send them the PNG file. After I'm done sending the PNG file, I need to wait for the response, hoping that the client wouldn't need another revisions, hopefully. And after waiting for the response, I got one. The client wants the character skins a bit more darker. Not gonna lie, I don't have that much of knowledge of painting people with darker color, because I often draw Japanese anime characters with light skin, so it kinda makes sense that I kinda suck at painting people with darker color. But the client also explained that the character Albert hair color is a bit more reddish. From what I searched, that Albert color is kinda yellow, close to brown but lighter. I thought that was the way to draw Albert color, not reddish color. So I thought that the reddish color hair was called ginger. Anyway, I comply with the client's request to make the skin color of the character a bit darker and make the hair of the character a bit more reddish. After I'm done making the revision by changing the skin tone to be more darker and making the hair a bit more reddish, I send the client the file of the changes. After waiting for other hours, I received another response of revisions. The client forgot to say that the character supposedly had this green leaves or grassy discoloration stuff below the character's elbow, but I'm not sure that I understand the request for revision, so I asked the client to prepare me a reference so that I don't want to make any guesses wrong, to make wrong guess. And the client sent me this picture as a reference. This picture had Groot thingy with green stuff growing on it. And after receiving the revision details, I opened my Medibank and start drawing. And I start adding some green stuff growing on the character's arms, the greens that grew below the elbow as the client requested. I tried making the green moss, moss. Forgot to say that the client also said it was okay to mimic the leaves I patched for the arms. So after I'm done adding the moss, I started thinking to add the leaves along with some green fanny stuff to make the growing of the leaves a bit more makes sense. So it's kinda of a weird fanny things on her arms. Kinda a cool concept, not gonna lie, about the fanny thing. So the design is quite interesting. The character is supposedly an elf, a wood elf. That is quite interesting. I thought that all elves had these things connected to nature, but apparently these elves got quite a unique stuff going on. Probably in this world of design, the client envisions a world of a magic and sword, in that world the race of elves are quite a lot. From what I know, there are only kind of elves, the original one, on which that they are depicted with grace, elegant stuff, and also connected with nature. And these original elves excel at magic more than any other races. And the other one is dark elves, which they are dark creature that lives underground. I'm just pairing some nonsense from the little knowledge that I know. I get the nods of elves from a game named Dragoness. In the game, the elves was born from a great tree. The elves that we can play in the game are the normal elves that born from the great tree that is healthy. The dark elves were born from a corrupted tree. Apparently there are two great trees from which that the elves are born. As for the reason that the tree of the dark elves got corrupted, there was once a war between the cursed dragon and the ancient dragon. The war was caused by two goddesses, in which that one of the sister is envious of the other because one had done a great job in creating a world. The war was won by the ancient dragon, the one that was created by the good goddess, I believe. But the blood of both dragons from the bloody fight between the two deity lizards causes too much of a bad miasma that corrupted one of the great three. That is how the origin of dark elves in the game. From what I know, there are two kind of elves, one with fresh and warm white skin that you often see in the game or movie, and the other is pale that white skin. So it's kinda interesting that there are client that commissioned me to draw an elf with brown skin. Because that I thought that the name of the elves is wood elf, I thought that there will be no human pigment traits with skin color. Probably like Natur Fairy from the Troll Hunter, with the skin kinda pale and the attire follows that of a big leaves clothing. After that I sent them the stuff and hey, they actually like it. The client was happy with my job, and the client gave me a fat tip of $15. Probably because of the speed that I put on the piece. I'm not doing that fantastically, to be honest. It's just that I got nothing to do on the holiday, so I just get the piece done on the day. Maybe that is why the clients likes my speed. It's also that I'm working on the piece for around 9 hours, if I'm not wrong. Not that fast, but hey, so long that the client is happy. And a 5-star to our lovely client that got us to design their character.